So today we're going to talk about parallel and perpendicular lines. And we're going to start with parallel lines. What do you notice about those two lines on the graph? Hopefully you notice that these two lines don't meet at all. They have different y-intercepts, so we can kind of analyze them a little bit. Let's write the equations of those lines. What are things that we need for the equations? We need our y-intercepts, and we need our slope. So if we look at line 1, our y-intercept is right here at 6. If we look at line 2, our y-intercept is at 4. Let's look at a slope of this line here. Okay, so from 6, we're going to go all the way over to this point here. And to do that, we're going to follow our grid lines. 1, 2, 3, so we go up 3, so that's a positive 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, right 4, so again that's a positive 4. We're going to do the same thing with the other line, number 2, so we're going to start at our y-intercept, and we're going to, let's go up to, if we go to this point here, okay? So we follow our grid lines, and we follow up, and we're 1, 2, 3 up, and we're 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, so that's a positive 4. Okay, how does that help us write the equation of the line? Well, for equation 1, we know the y-intercept is 6, we know the slope is 3/4. Throw that into slope-intercept form. So y equals 3/4 x plus 6. Let's do the same with number 2. Equation number 2, y-intercept is 4, slope is 3/4. So we throw that into slope-intercept form. Y equals 3/4 x plus 4. What do you notice about these two lines? What do you notice about the two equations? They both have the same slope. So for parallel lines, we need to note, and make sure you get this in your notes, what do you notice? That they have the same slope. In this case, that's 3/4. But they have a different y-intercept. If they have the same y-intercept, then they're actually the same line. So make note of this. Parallel lines, same slope, different y-intercept. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to, given the equation of a line, we are going to write the equation of a parallel line to it. In this case, it says write the equation of the line parallel to y equals negative 2x minus 1 through the point negative 3, 4. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to realize that parallel lines means the same slope, so our m equals negative 2. The next thing we can do is we can take our point, and remember that that gives us an x value and a y value. So now we have a slope, we have an x value, and we have a y value, so we can calculate our b. Use slope-intercept form, and remember this 4 came from our y value, and our negative 3 came from our x value. So y equals negative 2x plus b, and we can then calculate our b value, our y-intercept. So simplifying, 4 equals 6. Negative 3 times negative 2 is 6 plus b, so b must be negative 2 after we subtract 6. That gives us the equation y equals negative 2x minus 2. Okay, let's move on to perpendicular lines. So perpendicular lines, we do the same kind of thing. So write the equation. Again, we're going to find y-intercepts. So here's a y-intercept for line 1. And then up here is another point. So we have a slope of 3/4 again. That's the same line as before. So we get y equals 3/4 x plus 6. If we look at the second line, we have a y-intercept of 0. And in this case, we come down 4, and we go right 3. Down, remember, is a negative direction. So that gives us a y-intercept of 0. Slope is negative 4/3. And our equation is y equals negative 4/3 x plus 0. So what do you notice this time? Well, they still have different y-intercepts, which may or may not be true with perpendicular lines. But the big thing is the slope. So look at those slopes, negative 4/3 and 3/4. So the slopes are always opposite signs. So one's positive, one's negative, and reciprocals. That means that your fraction is flipped upside down, right? So 1/2 becomes 2/1, or 3/4 becomes 4/3. So these are the two things that have to occur with the slopes. Again, like parallel lines, we're going to write the equation of the line perpendicular to y equals 2x minus 1 through the point 5, 6. So that's the same thing. Perpendicular means opposite reciprocal slopes. So 2 becomes 1/2 because 2 as a fraction is 2/1. And it becomes negative since our original is positive. Okay, we also, again, take our x value and our y value, and we're going to substitute them into slope-intercept form. So 6 was our y value, 5 was our x value. And then we're just going to calculate it out. So 6 equals negative 2.5 plus b, or b is 8.5. And then we go back to the original, just write it in slope-intercept form. So y equals negative 1/2 x plus 8/2. I hope that helped you with what we need to do with parallel and perpendicular lines.